So at first glance I think probably no. Observation that they record is onto a paper chart or into paper notes, so it's all very old-fashioned. I don't think it does appear that NHS staff use technology very much. People just have wedge folders of notes, which the more complicated they are, the bigger the folders are, and it just scraggles of paper with scrawny handwriting, and it is really hard to locate something if you want to find it. I think in GPs there's actually a lot more technology used. If you change GPs, the majority of GPs have the same system, so you can just transfer everything straight away. Whereas in hospitals, everything is on paper and that paper file goes with you, but there's no backup if that gets lost or damaged, or if someone can't read what's written. There can also be human errors in copying down the wrong numbers. It would decrease their workload in terms of admin. It would also allow you to trace things back to who had written what, so you could directly go and ask that person. Arguably, hospital notes are more important because you go into hospital when you have something seriously wrong with you. Probably the very elderly population wouldn't take on the app. They like the idea of phoning in and using traditional methods, and not everyone has access to a smartphone or internet. However, the middle-aged population and definitely younger people would find it so much easier. In your busy lifestyle, if you can just log into an app and order a prescription that you need or book an appointment and see the availability for yourself, it saves so much time if you can just log in and do it in your own time. Sometimes are reluctant to phone up and actually speak to someone, maybe out of embarrassment of having to explain what the problem is. People are more likely to access healthcare if they can do it privately within their own home, because that is the generation that we have that like using technology and doing things independently. I think it would massively benefit the younger population. It's a shame to say it, but I think it would just be the older generation who aren't as familiar with technology, because I think it makes them feel a bit, not threatened, but as though they can't access things. Understandably, they're set in their ways of how they do things, and they don't see a problem with the system perhaps, so they don't think it needs to change. If technology isn't something that they can easily accessibly use, then that won't be an improvement for them, that will be a hindrance. I don't see why both systems coexist. Doctors who are older, they're used to their way of doing things. If a consultant has been working in a job for 30 years and he has his way of doing things, and then all of a sudden he's told he's got to do it through an app, it might seem a bit backwards to them because they don't see any problem with how they do things right now. I'm sure there would be consultants who are in the older generation that would probably see that it is going to be more accessible for a lot of other people, and they're intelligent people. I'm sure they could quickly familiar themselves with. Probably a lot of the resistance comes from the fact that people aren't properly trained in the new programs when they come out. Introduction of iPads, if people aren't familiar with them, then they're more likely to just want to, in fear of probably making errors or not doing their job as well as they have previously, they'll want to refer to the methods that they're comfortable with. You'd have to put some money into training people and helping people to feel confident using the new systems, but I think probably it's the fear of not knowing how to use new things.